Hi guys, it's Sajid again and welcome back to Books on My Social Life. So today I'm going to be doing another book review and that's going to be of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello'S Library by Chris Grabenstein. This is a middle grade kind of contemporary story about a 12-year-old boy named Kyle. Kyle kind of feels out of it. He feels as though as if there's nothing special about him. He has a really smart older brother and a really athletic older brother. So he feels as though as if he's not really special in any way. But one thing about Kyle is that he loves games, and his favorite game maker of all time is Mr. Lemoncello. So one day he hears that Mr. Lemoncello is actually building a library in his community. So he wants to check out this library because obviously it's not going to be like any other library. So Mr. Lemoncello and his fellow library creators actually plan on having 12-year-olds spend the night in a lockdown for the celebration of the opening of the library. So Kyle and a couple of his friends are actually among the lucky children who get selected to spend a night in the library. So when they go to the library now, they realized that they are going to be staying there for a lot longer than they bargained for. Mr. Lemoncello is actually locking them in the library and telling them that they have to find their own way out. He left a bunch of clues and hints and stuff like that. So they basically have to go on quests and scavenger hunts, and they have to use their mystery detective uncovering skills to find clues in books and in various parts of the library. In fact, whilst reading the book, you will actually see like little illustrations of things that you have to decode. And these are the kind of clues that they basically find in books and in other parts of the library. So these little clues are basically like all over the book, and they are such an amazing aesthetic touch to the story. So let's talk about the setting. This library is freaking amazing. I want to go to this library. The library is very high-tech. There are holograms and mannequins of old dead authors who walk around and talk. There are all sorts of crazy technology things that are impossible, which is why I consider this book to be kind of literary fiction. The characters are very interesting, as I just told you about Kyle. Kyle actually, while discovering stuff in the library and unearthing things, began to discover a lot more things about himself and kind of gets to develop as a person and find that thing about him that makes him special. You also have some of Kyle's best friends like Miguel, Akimi, and Sierra. Sierra is actually a very interesting character. Then you have Charles, who is another kid in the library who's kind of snooty and stuck up. And then you have Haley, who's this snobby kind of rich girl. And then you have Mr. Lemoncello, who was actually inspired by Willy Wonka. So this book is basically the Breakfast Bunch meets Charlie and the Chocolate Factory meets Scooby-Doo. So if you like any of those things, then you'll definitely like this book. Another thing I absolutely love about this book was that there are so many book references and author references, and they talk about books all the time in this book. You get to see them talk about the Hunger Games, they mention Ella Enchanted, they talk about Agatha Christie, Shakespeare, all these different things, and it actually made me wanted to read more. Like prior to reading this book, I never had a desire to read like any Roald Dahl book or Sherlock Holmes or anything like that. But after I read this book, I want to read everything. So if you have a kid or somebody who is not really into reading, you should probably let them check out this book, and it might actually influence them to read. Kyle, the main character, is also in a similar position. He hates reading, and after spending 2 nights in the library, he can't imagine a life without reading. And I can relate because I never used to read until a year ago, and now I don't think I can imagine my life without reading. It's a very intelligent and very well written novel, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it to all ages, whether you're a kid or not, it doesn't matter. So if you or your kids want to start reading more, I recommend that you check out this book because it will actually make you want to read more. And if you or anyone you know likes mysteries, puzzles, scavenger hunts, quests, stuff like that, I definitely recommend that you check out this book as well. And to top it all off, I give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So that's gonna be it for my very quick book review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you also read Escape from Mr. Lemoncello'S library, definitely let me know what you thought of it down below. And I will hope to see you again soon in another video. Bye.